The following voice recording is for entertainment purposes only.
Good morning, Padawans. Happy Thursday morning. Today I want to discuss Richard Groyper, one of the super trolls of bellgabber. And if I say you know again and again, please stop me. I keep saying you know in these videos that I do, these voice recordings. And for some reason, I just keep on saying the same thing. Weird, man. So, later on, Carrie is going live, Texas time. Carrie from Texas. She's going live. And I know that Richard is going to be there. How do I know this? It's a prediction. You know, it's following the pattern of behavior. And if I say you know again, leave me a comment. I was over there on Gwen's chat last night, Ruins of Coolness, and Richard was on panel. I went over to Carla's a week or two ago, and Richard was on panel. I went to Dana's one time, and Richard was on panel. I went to Carrie's the other day, and Richard was on panel. So you can see that Richard has been going to panels a lot. He's been on the internet a lot. Now, he said he was on vacation. No, he was not on vacation. He was on everybody else's live shows and on panels. Now, why am I talking about this? Miller, you're just a bad person. You're not being nice. You have to try to be nice, Miller. This is what I get from Dana and a lot of the women over here. Look, I told Richard to get a job last night. And it's no secret to anybody that watches me that I've done a lot of videos about Richard Groyper in the past. Everybody knows that I don't get along with Richard. I do go to his shows when he's around to chat, and but I'm not there to talk to Richard. I'm just there to talk to the chat room. And he knows this. I've been very clear about my feelings when it comes to Richard Groyper. He knows I don't like him. But he also knows what he did. He doxed my email address on bellgabber. He doxed my friend Rand's picture on bellgabber. He instructed Anthony to come to San Diego. He instigated. He manipulated people to do things. And then he just cleans his hands, washes his hands. But he is the mastermind behind a lot of stuff that's going on, especially the stuff with Jason Callan. He started this. Richard started this Jason Callan hate. Okay. Richard was part of the reason why I don't talk to Gwen anymore. Why I lost my friendship with Gwen. Him and Jeff. Richard is a skinhead. Richard is a white supremacist, a racist, a bigot. And he's over there on every panel talking. He's mostly around with weak women. I don't know if you guys can tell this, but he's mostly hanging out with weak women. He tells them what to do. He instructs them what to do, what to say. He shuts them up. He takes over the panel. He's a panel killer. and a whore, a panel whore. And I know that Richard is a veteran, and I respect veterans, but some of these guys, they just came back from the war just not right. Okay? Now, Richard, I believe he went to the Gulf War, maybe the war in Iraq. I know he was a medic in the I think in the army, and that's pretty cool. That's respectable, you know. That's okay with me. But I'm sure Richard was not the same person that he is now when he was in the military. What I'm getting at is that Richard is a loser. All he does is go on these panels all day long, day after day, wasting my time because I want to go talk to Gwen. I want to go chat with Carrie sometimes without Richard being around. Because when Richard is around, the whole thing just feels off. He starts talking about the Jews, the Nazis, race. He says the same thing over and over and over. He has been doing it for years. It's the same topics. He's only trying to help, right? Am I right? And the truth about Richard Groyper is that he sits in his garage in a wheelchair wearing his Pokemon hat and his Pokemon t-shirt. And his wife locks the door behind him. And he sits in his garage when he's on these live shows alone. And he sits there for hours, like 5 hours, 6 hours. We all understand that Richard lost his leg. I don't know if he lost both his legs. That is my understanding. Okay, that is my understanding that he lost his legs and he has a wooden leg. He lost it in the war. I'm not making a false accusation. That's what I've heard. That's what I understood from some papers that I read a long time ago on bellgabber. Some documents that I read. Okay? I don't know if they were real or not. I don't know if it's a rumor. If it's not true, well, it's not true. But that is what I was informed. I was informed that he was missing limbs. And we've seen him on camera. He has arms. He has everything else. So it must be his leg. It's probably the right one. But and I understand. I know KCL called him out on his record, on his military record, and I'm not going to deny that he did not go to the military. He did go to the military, but why does the guy sit around doing nothing all day, not working? You can still work if you're disabled. You can still work, and the reason I have an issue with Richard, and you all know that he is one of my enemies, is Richard and Jeff. Again, he doxed my friend Ren. He's been sort of an asshole. He called me racial names on panels. He pointed a gun at me on camera. He threatened me. He told Lisa, Anthony's girlfriend, to come over here and blow up a car. So he's not a nice person. He is just not a nice person. And I'm not understanding why why Gwen and Dana and Carrie are all over this guy, all drooling all over this guy as he's some kind of like superhero or something. Like, he calls himself Richard Christ. Can you guys believe that? Richard Christ. They call him my king. All kinds of like superiority names. You know, the guy thinks he's better than everybody else. And he is good with women. He is good with manipulating women. And don't come at me saying that I'm saying that all these women are weak. Okay? Don't come at me with that. But he is good he's good at gathering groups. He's good at gathering the sheep. He's really good at it. I mean, the reason this Jason Callan stuff is going on is because he gathered, the troops. He's her cheerleader. And people do follow him. I don't understand why. I really don't know why people follow this guy, this bastard. And yeah, I guess this is sort of a drama video, but I just want to talk about this. Mostly because last night I was trying to listen to Gwen, and I just could not listen to Gwen because Richard wouldn't shut the hell up. Okay? And I can't go to Carrie's without Richard being around. So it's getting sort of annoying. He's everywhere. Everywhere I go, he's there. If I go left, he's right there. If I go right, he's right there. So I'm kind of like thinking, what is going on with this guy? Get a life. Okay, go hang out with your kids. Go do something with your family. Take a real vacation. Don't just say you're going to take a vacation and stay home and get on panels all day or chat on the internet all day long. What kind of loser are you, Richard? And, this is going to piss off all the little Richie lovers like Dana and Gwen and all the, Chloe and Morgan and all the little Richard followers over there. Like, oh, we love you, Richard. We love you. You guys don't understand how stupid you look. Making this guy out to be some kind of a semi-god or something. So, my point is, I do feel sorry for the guy. He's disabled. He doesn't have much of a future. He doesn't have a life. He spends all his time on YouTube, doing gossip, hanging out with cat ladies. He's on panel every day, every night, 7 days a week. Is this the life that you want Richard to live? I'm just trying to help, right? I'm just trying to help. But what really, 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 really bothers me is when people call him out on panel. And it could be anybody on chat. It could be anyone. They call him out. Hey, how come Richard can say the N-word? How come Richard can say, we're going to put you in the oven? How come Richard can talk about Hitler? Why does Richard get a pass? Why is he allowed to insult people, attack people, and do all this nasty crap on panels? Well, you are going to get the Richard defenders. Get your coins ready. Hit start. You're going to get the Richard defenders. Dana, with a bunch of excuses. Well, here's some excuses for you. He's just making a joke. He's just making a joke. He's just playing around, you know? He's just being a little naughty. Little Richie, come sit in my lap. Oh, I love you, little Richie. I love you. Just come over here and sit in mommy's lap. You're just an innocent little boy. You're just misbehaving. You're just being bad boy. Okay, this is the sort of bullshit that we hear from women over here when they defend their brother, Richard Groyper, the white supremacist, skinhead, racist. He's just playing. He doesn't mean it, you know? He doesn't mean it. How do we know he doesn't mean it? We know him. Because we know. They talk with him behind the scenes. We know he doesn't really mean this. That's his humor. He's just a comedian. And I really know that he has a good heart. He's a really good person. He has never said anything bad to me. He has never said anything, he's never been mean. And if he is, he's just kidding around. He's just joking around, guys. There's nothing here. There's nothing serious about this. This is what you're going to hear from the women over here. These sort of nonsensical excuses, this blabby psychotherapy junk nonsense. This is what you're going to hear. And does it bother me? Yes, it does. Does it irritate me? Yes. And I think it's because, again, we are different. Men and women are different. I perceive Richard as a serial killer, as Satan. I've done videos portraying Richard as Satan, as the devil. I see Richard as like Charles Manson or whatever. I see him as a cult leader. That's the way I see him. Is it me? Well, it's because men have a different perception. Women, when they see a man like that, they can't see that. They're blinded. Women don't have that radar. They don't have that ability. They don't have that sixth sense to see the bullshit, to read the real Richard Groyper. I do. And I know his intentions. I know he's trolling. I know he's a super troll. I know everything he says is a lie. I know he's racist. I know he hates the Jews. I know a lot of things about Richard that most women will just say, it means nothing. He's a good boy. He's a good little boy. And it is disturbing to see when somebody doesn't see the truth. It is disturbing to watch how they react to a person. And you want to help them, but if they don't listen to you, like I told Gwen many times, get away from this asshole. Get away from Richard. Please, do it for our friendship. Did she listen? No, of course not. No. I told Pandora the same thing. Please get away from this person. He's evil. He's a white supremacist. He's a racist. Please get away from him. Did she listen? No. Why? Well, because they think I'm controlling. Because they think I'm trying to tell them what to do. Is that what I'm doing? Or am I trying to help a friend? You tell me. Anyway, so tomorrow or tonight, there'll be another panel where Richard is going to be hanging out again. And if I go in there and if I see Richard, I'm just not going to listen today. I'm going to take a break. I just can't listen to that guy anymore. And, you know, he did mention something about Alien Earth yesterday. I know he likes Star Wars. And, you know, I wish we when we have met, we had met in different, you know, in different terms and different views. Because maybe we could have been friends. Maybe we could have talked about Star Wars, about Alien Earth. Maybe we could have done a show when I used to go live. But the way he presented himself on Bellgab was just an utter racist little bitch, punk ass, son of a bitch, piece of shit. And that's the way he acted on Bellgab. And he has matured a little bit more. I could tell that he's more mature now. He's more like down to earth, a little bit different than he used to be. But my beef is that he's everywhere now. I can't go anywhere without Richard being there. Take a fucking month off, man. Take a month off. Let's take turns. I leave a month, you leave a month. How's that, Richard? If that doesn't work, I already said you can meet me in Death Valley next year. We'll meet in person. We'll work it out. See you guys later, and may the force be with you. Bye.